Hey guys, it's Matt and Jesse back again. Welcome to the Dynamic Slav course. We have 10 chapters in this course. How are you doing today, Jesse?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to explore the course. So this is recording day one, and I have not looked at any of this. So I'm excited to get a fresh set of eyes on it, and just go through everything. So we'll start with the course outline, and we're going to kind of give you what this course is based off of. So it's primarily a repertoire against D4, but we're going to cover everything you're going to see other than E5. So can you talk us through the main setup we're going to be going for?
Yeah, so white plays 1 e4. We have the Carol course. This is everything else, like Jesse said. And we're going to try to keep the pawns on the light squares again, similar to our Carol Con course. So we're starting with d5. And after c4, we're going to play the Slav move order. So d5 and c6. The most common move for white here is knight to c3. You will also see knight f3 quite a bit, and we'll talk about that in the course. And now here, instead of going with a traditional kind of semi-Slav with knight f6, e6, or a Slav where we take on c4 and play bishop f5, I decided to recommend the triangle setup. And the reason for this is because I wanted something that is dynamic from the black point of view, where you don't have to memorize a ton of mainline theory, like in the Slav or semi-Slav, but also it scores really well for black, and we get good winning chances. So a lot of times we're going to take this pawn on c4 and try to hold on to the extra pawn. Or we have some really fun lines coming up where we're going to play for the stonewall Dutch. So it starts with the triangle, and I'll walk us through the main line now. So chapter 1 is going to be what's called the Noteboom variation. So that's after knight f3 and d takes c4. So this is going to be the main chapter of the course, the Noteboom variation. And if we look at the Lichess stats, at the club level, which we like to talk about club stats, black is winning 48% and white is winning 46%. So already pretty even here out of the gate.
Yep, and so that is going to be the subject of chapter one. That's called the Noteboom variation. If we go back instead of knight f3, there's a branching point here. So we're going to cover a bunch of different moves. So chapter 2 is going to be the Marshall Gambit. So a dynamic e4 right off the bat. We'll show you exactly how to refute this, right, Matt?
Right, and this is one it scores well for white, so we'll kind of navigate you through this chapter.
Yep. And chapter 3 is going to be if they take this pawn, we're going to take back with the e-pawn. Chapter 4 is if they go solid with e3. And then we're going to go right into the Dutch stonewall, and lots of play here. I'm looking forward. I think this is going to be my favorite chapter.
Yeah, the Dutch is not fun to face for white, so I got some lines queued up where it's a little different move order in the Dutch too, where we can try to create some problems for white.
Mm.
And then chapter 5, so going back to the Slav position, chapter 5 is going to cover the Slav exchange. And the Slav is something that both Jesse and I have played quite a bit in our chess careers. We're pretty familiar with the Slav exchange, and we got some fun lines queued up where you can play aggressive and go for an early e5 break in the Slav. And then this
Yep.
is going to be a fan favorite. What's chapter 6?
Chapter 6, we got to cover the London system. So we've covered this a little bit on our YouTube, but I don't want to give any spoilers, but we have a great system against the London that's going to pose a lot of problems. And actually, one of our ChessGoals members just got a very smooth win, winning a piece on move like 6 or 7 against the London. And so definitely a tricky kind of trappy system. And that was in a classical over the board game too, so not just blitz or anything.
Yeah, that was the chapter that we leaked in the Discord quite early, so players have been studying it.
Yeah.
And then chapter 7, this is going to be kind of the queen's pawn other lines for white. So we'll look at things like the Tory, where white plays more solid. We'll look at the Trumpowski, where they put the bishop out here, knight c3. So just some of these other queen pawn lines.
And then we have chapters 8 and 9, not against d4, but we're going to go the ready, knight f3, the English c4, and then we also have a 10th chapter dedicated to other first moves. So maybe looking at the Grob or just some craziness that could happen. But we'll give nice, simple lines to go over kind of settling down the crazy opening type of stuff that you're going to see.
And you guys can review the chapters in any order you want. But keep in mind the last couple chapters do have a lot of transpositions to the earlier chapters. So the ready, the English, and the other first moves, those last 3 chapters, will transpose to other chapters. So I would recommend leaving those last 3 for the end. But other than that, you can really study them in any order. So hope you guys enjoy the course.